States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The prayer today is, as we close last year and start a new one, let's start with a quiet prayer. May those who feel broken find healing. May the sick regain strength. May the hearts weighed down on sadness feel hope again. May the lonely feel loved, the hungry be fed, and may peace find its way into our world. Amen.
Good morning, Commissioners. Happy New Year. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I did not see anyone signed up for public comment. I'm just checking. Anyone have anything for public comment with anything on the agenda? Okay, Happy New Year. That's all I have for number one.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Adrian Gorton with the Commissioner's Office. The first item, or second item on the agenda is in regards to the financials today. So we are asking the Commissioner's Office, asking the Board to approve the encumbrances to be considered by the Board of Commissioners to be effective January 1st, 2026. This allows for no gap in purchasing. So.
Second.
Any discussion? Vote.
Commissioner Spitaleri?
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey? Aye. Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Thank you. The next item is the financials. So today's financials include appropriations transfer from the Common Police Court in their Targeted Community Alternatives to Prison Fund. I can say that. Targeted Community Alternatives to Prison Fund to move resources out of their other expense account and into materials and supplies and training expense accounts. Also, there are contracts, blankets, purchase orders from various departments for the new year, including travel requests from the clerical courts to attend the monthly Ohio Clerical Courts Association meetings in Columbus, Ohio, and from the juvenile court to attend the 2026 Intercourt Conference in Columbus, Ohio.
I move to approve the financials.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spitaleri?
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
And then number 4 is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board establish the gas mileage reimbursement at the current IRS rate of 72.5 cents to be effective January 1st, 2026 for the departments under the direction of the Geauga County Board of Commissioners.
When did you get that rate, Christy?
It was ironic that Nick actually brought it to me after the meeting was over, that they had posted it late that evening. And it was funny because we were talking about it going up or down 2 cents, and it actually went up 2.5.
There you go. All right, I'll move to approve number 4.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spitaleri?
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Adrian.
Hey, Andy.
Commissioners,
How are you?
Item 5, this is our annual renewal, I guess you could call it, for resolution, have the number with me, 2602, for authorizing the county engineer to undertake projects using force count in certain cases for the year 2026. I can go into a few details if you like for what this is. And basically what this is keeping the stewards of the taxpayers' money in check with exceeding their authorities. Say, we turn into a contractor. We're not a contractor. We could do contractor work, but we should be able to do contractor work because we could react to any emergency faster than anybody. But we shouldn't be renting a crane or buying a crane to set boxes. We're not a contractor. So what these limits are for per mile of road or per bridge and culvert, basically the $76,000 per mile we can spend if you authorize us to do that with our own crews, our own equipment, own material, which is a fair amount of money, but it's $1 million a mile to pave a road, right? So we shouldn't be in that business of using our own forces to pave roads. Bridges and culverts, $253,947. That allows us to do some good-sized culverts, which we can do. Typically up to a 36-inch concrete culvert is in our wheelhouse, effectively and efficiently. We have to do an estimate before we do entertain this work, so it shows that we are under these limits. because these limits, if we're exceeding these, we have to bid it out. That's basically the line of how we protect the taxpayers' money. We shouldn't turn into a contractor. We plow snow, number one. Snow and ice is number one. Water, drainage, keeping the roads open, whether it's a storm, winter or summer. So that's basically in a nutshell what this is. I've looked into this over the years about what is maintenance, what is a contractor, and why we do this. So it's a little odd. What do you mean we can't do work? Yes, we can, but just because we can do some types of work doesn't mean we should, because we're not the most efficient at it. We don't own a paver for a reason. Paving contractors are much more efficient and effective at doing what they do. We patch holes, if there are any, which there really aren't in our county. So
Andy, I was going to ask, like, how often does this come up that you use the force account?
we basically find ourselves going into this with replacing a cross culvert for a road. A lot of times intersection of a township road, it's in the county right away, or replace a concrete culvert because we like concrete under our roads just because they'll last 100 years. There's been projects where we've extended culverts out, where we've gotten easements to eliminate guardrail. Some of those have approached in the old days, it was, I think we could spend $100,000. These rates have increased, which allows us to do work that we typically wouldn't contract out because it would be more expensive. And this is some of the work we could do in the summer ourselves, basically it's very custom critical work with the taxpayer in their front yard, where typically a road construction project is based on tearing up a complete road and replacing it, or replacing a complete bridge. And that's something we typically don't do. We have box culvert, 10-foot span. We have done that in the past, and we could do it if we have to, but typically we find that the contractors bidding it out comes in much more efficient money-wise than we could do. And that allows us to keep doing work that we wouldn't contract out. We cut trees, cut grass, ditches, things of that nature, which is constant. Rust never sleeps, maintenance never stops.
Is that a technical term, ditches?
That's right.
Yeah.
Water goes downhill still until it doesn't. Let me know when it doesn't.
But this whole process really is it's the best way to do it, the best practices. You find out, which is the most economical way to do a project.
Oh, that is not economical. Yes, this is what keeps government in check, in my opinion.
Someone hit a ditch.
Ditch got ditched.
Somebody just
Should
smashed a
we
tree.
wait for the camera to come back on, or? We're good,
going.
okay.
It's got
All right.
batteries.
All right, I'm just checking, we're rocking and rolling.
But yeah, this is my opinion. Once Joe had me look into this, what is this force count thing? It keeps our office from turning into a contractor, which we're not. We can effectively react to a incident, storm, faster than anybody. That's why we don't contract out snow plowing. You could, but this is the statutory authority of the office. Now, constructing a bridge, yeah, we could do it if we had to, but that's not something we do every day. That's not something that, in our area, we have great contractors out there, and to have them come in and bid gives the taxpayer the best bang for the buck. That's
Yeah.
what this is about.
Yeah, you want to use them, or resources most efficiently. right?
Absolutely.
Okay. And Christy, these incorporated my red lines from this. So I'll move to approve item number 5.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote?
Aye.
Hey,
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone.
Morning, Craig.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Just for you.
There you go.
Hopefully pretty simple this morning with number 6 and number 7. Number 6, we're just asking the board reappoint the members that I had asked about 2.5-3 months ago to our Family Services Planning Committee, which is kind of our oversight board with key partners in the community that we report to, and then also, ask questions of us and kind of make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. So just asking the board to reappoint those individuals that this board already appointed at the end of last year to that board.
I'll move to approve number 6.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote?
Aye.
Hey.
Yes.
Thank you. And then the real controversial one is you ask the board to appoint Mark Jimison as well to that board. No, obviously, he actually came to the last meeting, invited him in as an observer, and I know it was very, I don't want to speak for you, but you felt it very helpful and insightful, so I would ask, would love to have you join that board as well. So just add him to that as well.
Move to approve number 7.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady. Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Rob Weigel, Maintenance Department. The Maintenance Department, or item number 8, the Maintenance Department is requesting the Board approve and grant a waiver of the policy prohibiting the payment of late fees and finance charges and allow payments to East Ohio Gas and Illuminating Company for the invoices received after the final fiscal session of 2025 and due prior to the fiscal in January 2026, an amount not to exceed $500.
Do we know how much these late fees are going to be? I mean,
In the
other than less
past-
than 500, obviously. But.
Yeah, last year we didn't procure any fees from this.
Okay.
But this year, 2 years ago, it was minimal. She said it was under $100 for all the fees total. But she put that down just because there's some in like January 20th that they should receive the payments by then because we can open things up at the 13th, she said. 13th, 14th. So that's what she was thinking. Sue was thinking.
All right, so I mean, it seems relatively minor. I mean, last year I asked, how can we avoid this in the future? And so, I mean, I'll ask the same question to you. Is there a way for us to avoid this in the future?
So with the Dominion and Illuminating Company, it's pretty hard. They're going to send the bill when they send it, and they have a due date of when they have it, and they're very hard to deal with. So to come up with a solution for that one, I would have to really dig in deep with that one and try to, because
Well,
we can't pay it until we get the bill.
One solution is you change your payment terms when you negotiate your
Yeah.
contract.
From the end of the month to the beginning of the month, that would be one, yeah.
So I'll move to approve number 8.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote.
Commissioner Spudler.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
No, Liz is coming up for this one.
Morning.
Good morning.
Liz Reno, Maintenance Department. I have item number 9. And the Maintenance Department is requesting the board approve and execute the service contract agreement with Chef Electric Company to perform inspections and maintenance service for the Geauga County generators for the directors for the period January 11th, 2026 through January 10th, 2029, 3-year period, in an amount not to exceed $35,000.
Is this who we currently use, and how does this pricing compare to past
Well,
pricing?
it's went up about 6%, but that is mainly because we replaced 3 of the generators at the courthouse, annex, and DES.
Okay.
The courthouse is a much, much bigger generator, so that's where most of the cost increase went up.
Okay. I'll move to approve number 9.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 10, the Maintenance Department is requesting the board approve the revised job description and regrade for the position of Administrator Coordinator, number 1920, from a grade 7 to a grade 9 to be effective January 6, 2026.
Rob, can you talk about the reason for this change?
So the role that previous Tammy was providing us, I think she was underutilized, and she's going to be a very crucial, the new administrative coordinator would be a crucial role in the backup to Sue in fiscal, plus helping with my budgeting and all that stuff. So there's going to be more, I think, than what the last person that did in that role. She's going to not only be a fiscal backup, she's going to help Liz and Chuck with that kind of role. She's a supervisor of the mail room and all that stuff and gov deals. It's a big job. I think that she was performing, and I think it deserved a higher pay rate for that.
So this person will be doing increased responsibility, but it seems like perhaps even before that you feel that the role should have been a higher grade.
Absolutely, I do. I think she was underpaid by for sure.
I'll move to approve 10.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for vote.
Aye.
Commissioner Brady.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort.
Yes.
All right. And item number 11, the maintenance department is requesting the board grant permission to advertise for the position of administrator coordinator number 1920. This position will remain posted until filled.
Move to approve.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Question, has there been any applications so far?
We have not posted this job yet for this one. We have not, no.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Sir, can I have your vote? Thank you.
Sir.
Good morning.
Morning, Nick.
Nick Goris, Water Resources. Item 12 on the agenda is requesting the board approve and execute a service contract with Santee Lock and More LLC to perform lock and key related service and repairs as needed at all of our various locations effective January 6th for a 1-year period in an amount not to exceed $3,000.
Why wasn't this with the other ones last week?
They're going to keep rolling. There's probably another 20 or 30 that'll be coming in over the next couple weeks. So.
All right, sounds good. I'll move to approve 12.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
The next three are related to the union contract and as part of it, so I'll work through them one at a time. The Department of Water Resources are requesting the board approve the revised organizational chart to move the position of engineering tech number 2304 from the CWA bargaining unit to the Water Resources technical pay scale effective December 21st, 2025, pay period 1 of 2026 in accordance with the CWA union agreement. Basically, as part of the negotiations, if you recall, we pulled the engineers techs from the bargaining unit into regular underneath the engineering staff.
Was that was a change you wanted?
Yes, this was an absolute change that brought them more under my responsibility and out of the time clock.
Got it. Move to approve 13.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
The next item is requesting the board approve the revised job description and regrade of the position of engineering tech number 2304, placing it on the Water Resources technical pay scale as a WR4 effective December 21st, 2025, pay period number 1 of 2026. I do know that it still potentially shows the percentages off, and we're working through that through the beginning of this year for their duties.
Move to approve 14.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
The last item for Water Resources is requesting the board approve the regrade of current employees in the position of engineering tech number 2304 to include Paul A. Kucharski and Joshua Smock on the Water Resources technical pay scale 29.39 per hour. It's a Water Resources for step 3, and that's effective December 21st, 2025. Doing the math, it'll basically due to the steps based of what they would have received from the union contract. It's a 13-cent increase from what it would have been there.
Thanks for that explanation. I'll move to approve 15.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
And we're going to move to the organizational part. There is a few copies of the work motions. I know that you specifically asked me about them the other day. The things that are listed here, I specifically take there's a couple extras here too. The work session that was held with the board last week. So as you go through them, obviously you can make any adjustments based on what was there.
Okay, the first three items, appointing James W. Dvorak as president, Commissioner Brinkley as vice president, and the third thing is the Commissioner's Office requesting the board adopt Geauga County Commissioners meeting schedule for 2026. Need a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
So that was 1, 2, and 3.
Now, Geauga County Board of Commissioners meeting schedule and meeting information for 2026, 1 through 9.
I think that's what we just approved.
Okay,
Yes,
all right.
yeah. The only change that was made to that was I included the link we had talked about last week at the work session, that the live stream is available on the website, gave the location where they can go to and click on the live link. And then that takes you to the live for today. Number 4 then will be the boards and committees for 2026. And what is listed here was based on what you guys went back and forth with during the work session. So as we go through them, if you want to make any adjustments or changes to this, we can do that as we go through it. And then I would say once we get to the bottom of that, before we get to the next, so just do 1 through 13 boards before we move on to the rest.
Okay, with item 1 through 13, after we checked with our alternates with different things, is everybody in agreement with 1 through 13?
Well, I'm going to renew my objection to Commissioner Spitarelli's appointment of Skip Claypool as his alternate to the NOACA board. I'll provide you with this letter from July 2014. So this letter issued a formal disciplinary letter, was a formal disciplinary letter to Mr. Claypool. It documented serious misconduct while he was serving as the alternate to Commissioner Spitarelli on the NOACA board. The letter was issued after an investigation conducted by an independent law firm retained by NOACA and at the direction of NOACA's executive committee. This wasn't just rumor or politics or disagreement. It was a formal government's action based on an outside investigation. The letter documents public and personal attacks on NOACA and its executive director, who is still the executive director, baseless accusations of dishonesty and unprofessional conduct, abuse of board access that interfered with agency operations, and most seriously, the letter references completely inappropriate personal statements made to the executive director during a telephone conversation. You can find that referenced on page 2 of the letter at the top. It's my understanding that Mr. Claypool called the executive director late at night and made comments to her that were sexual in nature. It also places, so as a result of this conduct, it places some rather extraordinary restrictions, including strict monitoring on communications, mandatory copying of NOACA legal counsel, limit on contact with staff, and counsel has to be present at meetings. So to the best of my knowledge, there is no other individual in this entire county who would be under these kind of restrictions if they served on the NOACA board. And Commissioner Spitarelli, my understanding is in your more than 13 years in office, you have attended only 2 NOACA meetings, none of which have occurred in the past decade. I don't say that to neg you, but because, in practice, your alternate is essentially the county's representative, the representative. And that makes the choice of an alternate especially consequential. So this, in my opinion, this appointment exposes Geauga County to foreseeable and unreasonable liability. Commissioner Spitarelli, you were copied on this letter I just provided to you, and you're fully on notice of the conduct documented in it. If similar conduct were to reoccur, the county would face a clear failure to act problem, having knowingly appointed an individual with a documented history of this behavior. And then, of course, recently, Mr. Claypool filed a lawsuit against this board related to NOACA public records. The lawsuit was dismissed. Court costs were assessed to Mr. Claypool. And, the year I've been in office, we've only had one resident sue us, and that was that lawsuit. So I guess in closing, I don't want to be having this conversation. We should not have to have this discussion. But there's documented conduct, a law firm investigation, and ongoing restrictions, and avoidable liability. I feel like Appointing Mr. Claypool as a NOACA alternate is indefensible from a governance and a risk management perspective.
Well, what's interesting is Grace Gallucci, other than being copied on this letter back in 2014, over 11 years ago, no one has ever contacted me to have any concerns regarding Skip. Grace Gallucci has never contacted me to say, this is a problem. I think that this has got to be reevaluated. I think that you should do this or this or this. In addition to that, multiple commissioners that I have spoken to over the years and other alternates that have been at NOACA have always applauded Skip's efforts. And I can tell you that this investigation was very, very one-sided when this took place. And I think that it's really a shame because of the fact that I have basically given Skip my position of being my alternate because he does represent this county, represents my views there with my positions on NOACA. I've discussed many issues that have come up, and he's not afraid to ask the hard questions. And I think that that's one of the things that you'll find from a lot of people. And I think that the reality is that it is undisputable that there are so many facets of NOACA that they have totally lost direction on what their responsibilities and what their mission really is to be. And what has happened is that Skip asks the hard questions and takes them off of track or exposes them on things, and they don't like it. So what's the easiest way to try to do that? Is to try to bring some kind of negativity onto the person. And I've been so disgusted with the constant position of sexual, this, that, the other thing. It's really troubling to hear that. Skip Claypool is actually here today as my representative. If you wanted to hear from him, if you wanted to come up, Skip, that this conversation is ongoing regarding your reputation and what you stand for as my representative at NOACA, I'd like for you to make a comment.
I would. Before you start, though, so Commissioner Spinelli, did you respond to this letter after?
I didn't. I spoke to. I can't recall. It's been over 11 years who I talked to regarding this, yeah. And it was basically a situation where there was a. I believe that Skip had an attorney and they had their attorney, and it was basically a situation where I think Skip could probably explain it a little bit more. But when I had my discussion with whoever it was at the time, was basically a situation of saying they basically needed to put something on paper to basically justify their position, which I didn't agree with, because it was just basically them, once again, playing that game of just going along with whatever the director of NOACA says to do. And it's just, we are in such an awkward position here because we don't have representation of 3 commissioners and an engineer. We should be fighting against NOACA for those things, but instead, unbeknownst to me, there's basically been requests made to NOACA to basically turn around so that the commissioners here can then decide who the commissioners are going to have down there representing. Once again, I understand it. You and Jim don't like me, and both of your missions is to try to undermine everything that I do, and that's fine.
That's not true.
But what I will tell you is that I don't think that there is anybody that you could bring to the table that can show you what the failures of NOACA have been over the last 14 years of my time serving, that can point out all of the issues of where Geauga has been shortchanged, that he could point out where NOACA has overstepped what their position is of, stuff that they're supposed to be experiencing and delivering the gas tax dollars to our counties, but yet they're going on to all of these other areas. Why? And who has been pushing back? Skip Claypool is probably one of the only ones. I know that one of the Lake County commissioners has himself and also one of his alternates that has pushed back. Medina County has had people push back. Lorraine County has had people push back, but what we are is we're in a cesspool of Cuyahoga County and Cleveland that are basically taking our Geauga County money. And I think that if instead of arguing this letter, I think that the energy should be put to calling out Nowaka and saying, we want our money back in Geauga of what we're paying. Because I could tell you right now, we're not getting what our fair share is of what our people are putting into Nowaka. Or into the gas
I don't
tanks.
disagree with anything you're saying, but what I want to focus on is what I brought to the table today,
Okay.
which is this letter, which is a liability to the county. It was based on an independent law firm's investigation. It wasn't based on Nowaka's
And who was
own.
the independent law firm paid by?
I believe it, the taxpayers. The taxpayers paid for them.
But the independent law firm was selected by?
By I believe the executive committee. It was either the governance
Correct.
committee or the executive. It wasn't selected
was
by
part
the
of NOACA.
executive director.
It was part of Nowaka.
It was board members.
Who is controlled
selected it.
100% by the director.
I don't believe that's true. I don't believe that's true.
If people would see if people would see what the salaries and what the money exchange of the people that are in those positions that are making, you talk about, Doge. They had a Doge Nowaka. If you look at how many people and what they're making there, it would make you sick. But nobody wants to call that out. So at the end, what happens is these people.
Track, though, what we're talking about now? I agree with what you're
exactly.
saying about
So then
Nowaka.
why are we arguing this? If you agree with me, those people are protecting their jobs to go along with whatever the director says. So they're not going to rock the boat there.
That's
so
not
they'll
what,
pick
that's not
whoever
what
to say
an independent law
whatever.
firm would do. An independent law firm would look at the facts,
Okay.
and they would evaluate them, and they would come up with a report, and then they presented it to the executive committee and the governance committee who issued this letter. That's what happened. It's not some kind of witch trial. I mean, this isn't about politics. This is about governance.
I think in fairness to me, I want to have my alternate that I asked to be here today to be able to give his position on this.
3 minutes.
Ms. Brake,
He could have as much time as he wants because this isn't public comment.
But he's the chair. He gets to decide.
no, he doesn't get to say.
I'm just telling you that he should be able to have whatever time he needs to because his name has been muddied up. His name has basically made some allegations, and he is my alternate.
So, Ms. Brake, you should really be careful slandering somebody.
It's not slander if it's
that you
true.
have your facts.
It's not defamation if it's true.
Please allow me to speak.
It's not defamation if it's true.
And it's not true. First of all, that was 12 years ago. Secondly, there was no investigation done. I would challenge you to find a report in an investigation. All of the allegations made in the letter that were issued were allegations, all of which there were no details on. So there was a comment that I made an inappropriate comment to Grace Gallucci. What was the inappropriate comment?
I mean, I can tell you if you want me to.
Sure, go ahead.
My understanding is that you called her late at night.
I did not call her late at
And you
night.
told
She
her-
called me.
Let her speak.
My understanding, what I've heard from multiple people, was that you called her late at night and you told her what her problem was, and then you made a sexual comment about what
That's
the problem
absolutely a lie. And I would ask for any proof. Does she have a recording of that comment? So to the point is, people can say anything. They can make any allegation they want. At that point in time, 12 years ago, I was making presentations to inform the public about Nowaka. They didn't like what I was saying. They didn't like the presentations. You will see in the letter that they claimed that I was a representative of the board of Nowaka. I'm not a representative of the board of Nowaka when I said of Nowaka. I'm a representative of Geauga County, looking out for Geauga County citizens. The comments that I made, and you've said on board meetings with me, I'm always professional. I speak to the issues and so forth, and I've never misrepresented anything at those board meetings. The allegations made are outlandish and not proven, and there was no investigation. There was no due process. I didn't have an opportunity to go in and have a hearing. They didn't call me into a hearing. There was no specifics provided to any of that. So I'd be very careful making those kinds of comments because they are slanderous. They're totally incorrect. I would challenge Grace Gallucci to come in here and show me that investigation. Again, there was no process. I wasn't invited in to defend myself into a committee meeting in which I had an opportunity to address any claimed issues. All of those issues in that letter are lies, and they were intended to intimidate me and to shut me up. I did meet with Grace Galushian, an attorney, with my attorney, with a specific purpose. They were violating federal law. They cannot interfere with the free speech of a public official doing his public capacity. So my attorney told them, if you continue this, we will sue you and we'll get trouble damages. At that point in time, all of this issue went away and we continued. And so I'm really upset about this because, especially as an attorney, you should know better than taking allegations. And you'll see in that letter, there's no specifics in that letter. They didn't claim any particulars. They were just making allegations and false claims. And so none of that occurred. And in the 12 years since, I've been on the board multiple times, and I'm always looking out for the best interest in the people in Geauga County. So shame on you for using this in as a smear tactic. That's generally the process or the tactic of a Democrat. They like to smear people and just call names in order to get people to shut up. I won't shut up. I will continue to look out for the citizens in Geauga County. Thank you. Thank you, Ralph, for standing up for me.
Okay. So how about if we vote for everything except item number 10, because, you know, we get our own choices for our alternates, even if I'm uncomfortable with Mr. Claypool representing Geauga County.
All right, so I'll make a motion to approve 1 through 9 and 11 through 13.
Okay. I second the motion. Any more discussion? Call for vote.
Commissioner Spillier.
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley.
Okay.
Commissioner DeBoer.
Yes.
And just so I'm clear, so what is the procedure if we are the primary for a board and we cannot attend that board meeting? How is that typically handled? I just want to make sure we have coverage on all of our boards.
Well, you have an alternate selected.
Right.
If you or your alternate, if you know ahead of time that you or your alternate cannot attend, we need to then have an action in the meeting prior, like a commissioner's meeting prior to that, where you would have to select somebody to attend on your behalf.
I just mean more for when the, you know, if, say I'm the primary and then another commissioner is the alternate, what is the best way for us to handle that without any, you know, apparent violation of the Open Meetings Act?
You need to let myself, Amy, or Mark know
Okay.
that you are
And then you'll
unable to
handle it.
attend. We can let your alternate know that you are unable to attend. If they cannot attend, then we would have to figure out an alternative option, or no one would be present for the meeting.
Perfect.
I do know that with NOACA, we are not allowed to make changes unless it is in writing. We attempted one year to do an alternate and then a secondary alternate, so that like if something happened where the primary and the alternate were not able to attend and a secondary alternate was put into place, they did not accept that. So it is strictly just a person, yourself, and then one person designated as your alternate. And then if that it comes up that you are not able to attend and your alternate cannot attend, by chance, like Shane is not able to attend the meeting and you cannot attend, we would have to take a separate action to appoint somebody to go to that specific meeting
Okay.
as your representative,
Got it.
so that they have the ability to vote during that meeting.
In the next 4 paragraphs, self-explanatory. If there's any changes, let's hear it now. We'll move right down to staff appointments.
We need to, hold
Make a
on,
motion on those?
we need to vote on 5, 6, 7, and 8. So for the public, 5 is to approve the appointments for the Board of Revision for primary and alternates. So if the primary and the alternate is unable to attend, this is what we're talking about, then the other commissioner, and then Mr. Jemison would go for Board, that was for Board of Revision. For EDP, it's Amy. 7 is we have listed as to reappoint Mr. Litke as your alternate. If you cannot attend, he would attend, and then if he's unable to attend, then it would be Mr. Spitaleri. And then the number 8 is the appointment of Mr. Goris to the NOACA Water Quality with alternate Carmela Shale for the year 26, and Nick Goris to the NOACA Air Quality and Bicycle Pedestrian Advisory BPAC Committee, with Mr. Dvorak as the alternate for 2026. So that is 5, 6, 7, and 8.
All right, so I'll move to approve 5 through 8.
Second.
Any more discussion? Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner Dvorak.
Yes.
Okay, is there any, for the staff appointments, is any that anyone wants to pull out to discuss or vote separately?
No, I think last year we just, I'll make a motion to keep all the directors in place for another 12 months.
Second.
Any more discussion? Call for a vote.
And so when you say directors, just to clarify.
The positions.
Yeah, but are we also talking about the staff listed above for the,
So you're doing your county administrator, your deputy county administrator, your
Right.
clerk, and then all of your director positions.
Right.
what numbers are those, Christy?
So
Like
county
9?
administrator would be 9, deputy county administrator would be 10, your clerk would be 11, and then we would do number 12 with all of your director positions.
Okay.
So how about your motion?
9 through 12.
Yes, perfect.
And then you second 9 through 12.
Any more discussion? Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner Dvorak.
Yes.
I guess I would like to make a comment, to our directors. I apologize for the amount of chaos that you guys are enduring this year. I truly can applaud you for having the ability to stay in the game and try to do the best that you could do. And, brighter times are hopefully ahead. Thank you.
So the top of the third page, it says acting county administrator, for 2026. This appoints Mr. Jemison, your deputy county administrator, as acting county administrator in the event that Ms. Bevan is unavailable to be here or perform her duties. And then, so that would be 13, and then 14 is to appoint Ms. Ashburn as acting commissioner's clerk in the event that myself is unavailable or unable to perform. And if Ms. Debbie is not here, then it would fall to your county administrator. So that is 13 and 14.
So I'll move to approve 13, 14.
Second.
Any more discussion? Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner Dvorak.
Yes. You want to read the next 3?
So number 15 is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute Resolution 26-003, authorizing the county administrator to exercise powers delegated hereby under ORC 305.30. And that is this large list of items that they do under the direction of the board. So let's do this one separately from 16 and 17.
So I'll move to approve 15.
Second.
Any more discussion? Call
So
for a vote.
15 would be for which one?
And that's just the delegated powers by the county administrator.
Okay. I guess the only comment I would have with, as far as the county administrator is, thank you for what you're doing, and every day, the fight you're in, and our assistant Mark, same thing. You guys have been putting in a ton of work with a lot of perseverance, and thank you both.
Thank you.
Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWark.
Yes.
Okay. 16 and 17 related to the drainage engineer. The Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute the agreement for the county engineer to perform the drainage duties set forth in Chapter 6117 between the Board of Commissioners and the county engineer during the year 2026. And then the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board appoint Andy Hopt as drainage engineer and set the compensation for 2026 at a biweekly rate of $513.59 effective with pay 2 through 25 and $513.74 for number 26 in accordance with the agreement that will be dated today, January 6, 2026.
I'll still move to approve 16 and 17.
Second.
Any discussion? Call for a vote.
Commissioner Spitaleri.
Aye.
Commissioner Brackey.
Aye.
Commissioner DeWark.
Yes. Under 18 and 19.
That one. 18 and 19 is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board appoint Nicholas Goris to serve as the prevailing wage coordinator for Geauga County for 2026. And the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board appoint Shane Hajar to serve as a prevailing wage coordinator for Geauga County for 2026.
Do we ask these people if they want to do these things?
Well, Nick was here last week, and I asked him if he was willing to serve
Well, he
again.
kind of groaned. That's why
And I did call Andy yesterday and just double check to make sure that he was in agreement to keep Shane on as a prevailing wage coordinator, and he did agree to that and said that this year that there will be some training going on so that somebody else can learn also how to.
Shane probably also groaned when he heard
I didn't actually talk to Shane, so it's all up to Andy.
He was fine.
Okay.
I'll move to approve 18 and 19.
Second?
Any discussion? Call for vote.
Commissioner Spitaleri?
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes. The arborist.
The Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve the reappointment of Mark Dinishak as the county apiarist for the year 2026 and further approve and execute the 2026 Ohio Department of Agriculture appointment for county apiary inspector form to be effective January 1st, 2026 at an hourly rate of $15 per hour and a mileage reimbursement rate of 72.5 cents per mile, increasing the appropriation from last year from $900 to $1,500 for this year.
I move to approve.
Second?
Any discussion? Call for vote.
Commissioner Spitaleri?
Aye.
Commissioner Brinkley?
Aye.
Commissioner DeBoer?
Yes.
Can we have him come in sometime?
Sure.
And talk about
I'm sure he would absolutely love
beehive
that.
health in Geauga County?
That would be
Okay,
cool.
I'd be interested.
I think he would like that.
I think he would too.
Okay.
Okay.
Down to 21. Credit cards.
Yeah, let's do 21, 22, 23 altogether.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Just so don't get overly excited, but yesterday I did talk to Laura on the phone, and she is going to re-review the policy, and she is talking to the auditor's office, APA as well, and we're hoping to maybe streamline and make some adjustments to the credit card policy. It's just didn't happen in time for today, so we're moving forward as it currently stands, as it was approved January 1st for 2025. So as we move forward throughout the year, we may see some changes in how we can do these. So hopefully, fingers crossed,
I look
we
forward to
might
that.
Be able to streamline this just a little bit going forward.
That'd be
That's
wonderful.
good news, not just for us, but for everybody that is involved.
Yeah.
So
It's a lot of paperwork. That's a lot of paperwork.
It's a lot of paperwork.
Yes.
And this isn't all of it. Because Amy also has to sign a stack that's sitting on my desk yet. So the Commissioner's Office is requesting the Board approve and execute Resolution 26004, approving the use of county credit cards for the year 2026 for offices and departments per the attached Exhibit A. And just for clarification, that includes the auditor, ADP, common police court, drug court, court IT, probation department, clerk of courts, county engineer's office, the commissioner's office, community and economic development, job and family services, maintenance, and water resources. And I know that there are more that will be coming in, that we will be doing our First Amendment probably next week on those that didn't make it here for today. So that's 21. Number 22 is going to be approve and authorize the president of the board to execute the applications for authorization for the use of county credit cards forms for the year 2026 pursuant to RC 301.27. That would be this stack. And then 23 is the Commissioner's Office is requesting the board approve and execute the certification request to the county auditor, request to the Board of Commissioners quarterly use of county credit cards pursuant to ORC 301.27 for the year 2026 for quarters 1, 2, 3, and 4 for the auditors and ADP, common police court, including the drug court, court IT, probation, county engineer's office, commissioners, including community development, job and family services, and maintenance. And there is more that will be coming, but that's this stack here. So that's 21, 22, and 23.
So I'll move to approve 21, 22, 23.
Second?
Any discussion? Call for vote.
Aye.
Aye.
Yes.
So, are we then, at this point, going to hold off on number 10 till a later date? on approving appointments, which was the NOACA appointments. Do you want to?
I mean, we have a NOACA meeting on Friday that could change who we're allowed to appoint anyway. So, I mean, in some ways it makes sense to just hold off.
Just take a look.
Just make sure that all of you then are in attendance. Because you have no alternate that can go on your behalf, so you would have to go as a commissioner to that meeting. Just, I want to make sure that that's clarified. This is all of you, this is you, this is all of you. Okay, so we are moving out of the organizational meeting and back into the regular portion of the meeting, which is for discussion.
Yes. We have the dog warden. Come on up, Matt.
Where's your dog?
Good morning. It's funny that you say that is, if you guys remember me about a week ago, I said my 2 dogs passed away. I actually took one home 2 days ago from the dogs we picked up from Tennessee. So she's doing well right now, knock on wood, and I just got to do the adoption on her and all that. But yes, I finally pulled the trigger and got past it. It's a tough thing. If anyone has animals, you get a new puppy or a new dog, and it's not the same as the dog you had, and you still love it just like a kid, but it's fun. We'll see what happens. So I was late to work today because of it, but it's going to happen. Okay, what are we talking about? First of all, thank you all for the reappointment, and I think I speak for all the directors and all that. We thank you and all that. We love working for Geauga County, and it's an awesome place to work for. So, in that breath, I'm probably going to be coming to you to the board next week with a contract that we're going to have with the Ashtabula County Dog Warden. My understanding, and this is the understanding that I have, is they used to house their animals at the Ashtabula County Animal Protective League, and it's under contract. Their contract expired at the end of this year, and they were in negotiations, and it just didn't work. So they contacted us, asked us, since they don't have a shelter or facility, if we can take and house their animals. And obviously, we're never going to let a dog basically be on the streets. And I took it upon myself, as well as Amy. We had discussions with it to talk about how we can make this work. And at least for now, the contract has gone up to Laura LaChapelle. She has reviewed it. She thinks it's okay. It's going to be a year contract. It is contingent on how much space we have for our dogs, so it will not affect Geauga County dogs.
That's what I was going to ask. So.
Yeah, that is the biggest fear. I actually spoke to the dog warden in Ashtabula right now. They have now found a house where right next to a new jail that the commissioners own. So they're actually setting up cages down there in the basement area. So they will house them. He just sent me a 8-week-old puppy that they just found yesterday, which we're going to end up taking in the next 2 days if they don't find the owner. But they're going to be out of there. So they're looking at expanding and getting a new shelter or figuring out what they're going to do with their animals. And we're just going to help them as much as possible. The funding is going to come directly from them. So any of the dogs that come in our shelter, they will pay a board fee for them. If we end up keeping them, they will pay all the medical on the dogs, and then we'll do the adoption. If there's an aggressive one, they are working on getting their licenses so they can perform euthanasia on very sick and aggressive. But until that time, we're gonna take it upon them ourselves to do it for them. I do, just so you know, in our county, I do all the euthanasia for our dogs. I hate doing it, but in my 30 years, sometimes a dog has to be put down for safety reasons or for medical reasons. And it's not a project I like doing or a program, but I feel that it's the best way that I know it's humanely done.
It sounds like I should not read your dog warden reports after this
Well, those reports will come from them, and these guys are great guys, the dog wardens. So I think this is going to be a good relationship at this point, and we're hoping that then they'll be successful and be able to do what they can do out in that area. So I don't have the background of that, but I will be bringing the contract to you guys next week for review. And that I talked to Christy. I'm going to hopefully have it for you, a copy for you guys, so you can see it. But
So Matt, just so I understand, so if they bring a dog to us, they'll transport that dog. They'll give us a boarding fee. They'll pay for the medical.
yes.
They pay for the medical, and then we adopt the dog. So we'd get a boarding fee and we'd get the adoption fee. Is that correct?
Absolutely. So and if it goes in for adoption, so we will, in essence, make a revenue, just like we do with the dogs we take in from other rescue partners. So the fee that we'll charge is the $200 for all the medical, and then the adoption fee is our revenue that then helps our stray dogs in our county. So we don't put the strain on that. So every dog coming in that we rescue from them is going to now rescue another dog from our county. So, and that's how we do it with rescue at Moco in Tennessee. When they bring them in, they're all fixed. They bring them to our facility. So we don't put any money into that comes out of any dog and kennel fund that we have.
How many dogs do you think we could take at any one time? I know it kind of varies depending on how many dogs we have housed, but what are you thinking as far as numbers go?
They have told me it's about 300 dogs that they bring in. So we're going to double the amount of dogs that we got last year. Is this a difficult task? Yeah, but my staff are up to it. I'm up to it. I think our community is up to it. We have always, the 20 plus years I've been here, this community has been great and supportive for animals. And I think that's where it is. And I love how you say that, because I'm going to break into this. I'm probably going to, at the end of the month, we discuss what we do with the money that we got from a year and a half. We still have that money, but I think it's time to have a tough decision or a tough discussion about where this facility should be and where we should be going with it for years to come. This shelter, and I've said it, is close to death's door, and we just need to have a discussion on what direction you guys want to lead us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't want to see us putting, I don't want to say lipstick on a pig, but you know what I mean. I don't want us to dump $250,000 into this shelter in its current state and it lasts maybe 4 or 5 more years if we're lucky. I think that would not be a responsible use of taxpayer money.
From your report last week or 2 weeks ago, you had a long-range plan of 3 to 4 years. We should have a new facility. So I kind of like to keep having a conversation in that direction.
Yeah, so I will put together some stuff. I already have talked to some architects. Now, I don't know exactly how this works, but you guys put out for bid an architect, I think, for the renovations. I don't know how that works, but I know that a company took it on for the $250,000. I've talked to that company. That company actually says that they can work with us and talk to us about a price that they would consider for a new facility to create, which is actually a lot cheaper. And like you say, the $250,000 is just to take care of the cages. We're not talking, I don't know whether those T something numbers, my wood on the back. I mean, you could almost punch my wall.
T111.
We T111. I'm not a guy, but you could actually punch the wall and probably put a hole through the other side, and it's just crumbling. So the construction that they're talking about is not even, or the remodeling doesn't even touch that part. So I think it's, we're a great county. I think we need to look at investing into it. So I will be bringing that up in the next few weeks.
And I'd like to hear like an update on doing a 501c3 too, like a Friends of the Dog Warden. I know you've been looking into that. I think that's part of the puzzle of having a new shelter is giving residents and just people that support the shelter an avenue to donate.
And thank you for bringing it up. And you even coming to me with that. Probably like 10 years ago, I would say, yeah, it's not what we need or anything like that. But at this point, we need to somehow keep, getting income, and we can't just go out and get it. We're trying to do a license compliance, so make sure you get a license, and anyone else in here.
I just got a new license.
You did? Okay.
I only did it 1 year though because my girl's a little old. So
1 year's fine. Yeah, we're actually okay with 1 year and all that. So I'll probably be taking the list over there and checking it with our dog license database to make sure everyone's getting licensed. But no, I mean, it definitely is the right way to go. We could probably do a capital campaign with the 501c3. We can then look at getting, I know a Kenneth Scott Trust is a dog grants that we can get from them that we can't get as a government agency. But as a 501c3, a nonprofit, we have the ability to get some more money out of that. So.
that would be great. I think that'd be a great idea.
Yeah.
Craig wanted to add.
We have a 501c3 at JFS that Sarah Schiniger manages. I think you could partner with her. She'd help we set it up. That's how we receive our donations.
Okay.
And I mean, yes, obviously we all love kids, but we all know that dogs also raise a lot of money too. So I'm confident you can have a good income stream come in, and that's what we do, and we have one. So we can walk you right through that.
And I actually brought that up to Matt too. That there is precedent for having a 501c3.
No, I think that's
Under
great.
department.
Look,
Sarah,
you say it's
yeah.
very hard. Yeah, no, I would.
And we manage it all in house, and so we have the platform to show you how to do it.
Oh, great. Appreciate that. Okay, that's all I had. I just wanted to let you know what is our update.
No, I wanted to just talk briefly, two points. One, I just wanted to say that this partnership with Ashtabula, to me, at a strategic level, just demonstrates efficiencies across county, which are things as Mark and I get settled into our roles, are things that we're looking at. So I felt like this was a target of opportunity, but it also highlighted our ability to look for those efficiencies in other counties. So I thought that was great. And just the ease with which this has rolled out is a good testament on Matt's behalf to just the good working relationships that they approached us wanting to say, hey, we know you have a very well-run operation. Can we partner with you? Of anybody else, they came to Matt. So I just wanted to kind of highlight those 2 points in working with him on this. So thanks.
No, and I thank you guys all for, Mark here and Amy here and all that. Yeah, it's been great to be able to figure these things out and try to do it. There's things that I think in the future, if we have this relationship with Ashtabula, we might be even able to do some MOUs of allowing their dog wardens to do some work as well as ours to help communities out when we have a 10-dog confiscation that we would be able to come across county lines. And I think that's a great way to go. It talked about regionalization about 10 years ago. Again, wasn't the time, but now is the time to consider it. We need our resources to combine to reduce the amount of money we're spending.
Yeah, I'm sure, when you go on vacation, that's hard, so it'd be good to have folks that you can call on, especially for those emergency type situations.
Absolutely. And I give hat credit. Tom's back there, I see back there and all that. They know when I'm going on vacation and I tell them, hey, do me so all our law enforcement are doing a wonderful job, and the community has come together this year of just helping out, and it really, as far as the dog shelter is concerned, is been a great change and movement of where we're trying to get to. And some of it was I've lacked the asking of stuff. I just did it myself and worked 24/7. So now I'm relying on my staff as well as outside agencies to help out too, and it's just been great. So thank you.
Well, I want to compliment you on the last 13 months or so, that the communication between you and the Sheriff's Office and now with Ashtabula, it's a true testament of collaboration and actually saving taxpayers dollars.
Yes.
So,
No, thank you. And a lot of it was just, unfortunately, there's, as I say, the Ohio law does not protect the dog. A dog is, again, is personal property. It's like a wallet. You lose your wallet, that's what you get. And I think that we're being progressive and one of the first counties to start saying, hey, we need to figure this out. So, and with you guys' support, I think it's working. So thanks.
Thanks for coming in, Matt.
See you next week.
Thank you.
I'll bring a dog, though, so if you guys deny me, I at least have a dog.
I do not have anything else for board discussion unless you do. Okay.
The only thing I have for board discussion is I think, Christy, as you had said, as far as NOACA, I think if you can, look into that, because I don't think that the NOACA alternates are required to have a vote. It's the individual commissioner's decision on who he wants as an alternate.
What I'm saying is if you are unable to attend and you don't have an alternate appointed currently
Right.
for Friday, then if you are not there, then your seat is vacant for the vote and no one would be able to vote on your behalf.
Right, but I'm just saying that I'm making it very clear that Skip is my alternate.
Okay, I have to have a board vote on NOACA appointments.
I don't think that that's correct. And I think you need to look into that. So I guess
I will look into it
this,
further, but they
right.
won't take anything from me unless it's from a board on even filling a vacancy when they're not there.
Okay.
So
you could look into it, but I will tell you that Skip is my alternate.
Okay. Anything further? Okay.
I'm good.
Okay, moving on to item 18. Those wishing to make a comment or ask a question on matters of concern, please raise your hand to be called upon. Begin by stating your full name and address, and you'll have up to 3 minutes to comment or ask a question, and you're kindly asked to refrain from disorderly or disruptive conduct. Does anyone want to? Come on up, Mr. Claypool. Give me 1 second. Let me just adjust the mic. Okay.
Sorry, I was pretty shaken up earlier, and rightly so. I forgot to mention the fact that I handed a letter back in 2014. I gave a letter back to NOACA in response to their slanderous comments, and I gave Christine a copy of that to put into the record. I'm going to give a copy to the news media that's here. It totally responded to the false allegations being made against me. And I want to make a point for the record. When you attend NOACA board meetings, my sole interaction with NOACA is at board meetings, with a very few exceptions. And I learned after some interaction with Grace and some others that you don't have private individual conversations because you're going to get dinged in the process. Her comment or any comment to allude to the fact that I made any kind of a sexual comment is a lie. And there is no investigation. And I would challenge you, Carolyn, to give me a report. There was no investigation done. There was simply an executive meeting. They put together some allegations. They wanted to get me to shut me up, and which didn't work. And since then, after 12 years, I've attended many, many board meetings and interacted with NOACA, and everything has gone smoothly, and there's not been any issues or any problems. And I've done nothing but look out for the best interests of the people in this county. I've defended the people in this county and worked very hard to inform them on the detrimental impacts of NOACA on this county. And there are a lot, to include the recent climate change, which wanted to put it as a sequestration well in the middle of Geauga County. But I will give a letter. I can tell you that all of those allegations are false. Most of them have to do with free speech. I have a right to say whatever I want to about NOACA. Am I negative about them? Yes, and rightly so. Have I made any inappropriate comments to anybody on the board of NOACA? Absolutely not. And I challenge you to give me proof, not allegations, not some hearsay that somebody told you, oh, somebody told me you said this. No, you're an attorney. You know better than that, Carolyn. You know that there has to be proof underlying that, some sort of evidence. I never had an opportunity with NOACA. They never asked me to come in and be a part of a hearing, so I should tell my side of the story. They never did that, and I challenge you to show me any record where they did that. They didn't do that. So with that said, I'll be quiet about this at this point in time, but I'm going to hand the letter to the folks. This was my immediate response to the allegations made by NOACA to me, and after I gave them this letter, everything went away. And if there were any ongoing issues, they certainly would have continued that. They did not. They dropped it, and for good reason, because there was nothing to it.
But to be clear, you never received another letter from NOACA saying that these restrictions were gone, correct, Mr. Claypool? So I assume the restrictions in this letter are still in place.
Well, the restrictions, I've had many interactions with NOACA, and you've observed it at board meetings and so forth. I talk to people and so on and so forth. And so there's a lot of interactions I have in private conversations on sidebars and all that kind of stuff. So these restrictions are immaterial because they can't constrain me from doing business, from having a say. They wanted us to say that I couldn't have public comment, that I can't make presentations that say negative things. It is in the letter that they wrote me. And so they're trying to interfere with my free speech rights. That's why I met with them with an attorney, and I met with them to say, you cannot interfere with a public official in doing their job and their free speech rights. And they realize that. They know that they're on weak ground on that. So the letter, which gave me whatever the constraints were, it was immaterial. It's meaningless. And since then, I've had many conversations with people, including Grace Gallucci. And so, again, we've not commented on that. I've not commented. It's been 12 years, and I've had a lot of ongoing conversations with NOACA to include public forums in which they come into our county and to multiple other counties, and we interact in those public forums and so on and so forth. And so there's no there there. There's just an allegation, and I'd be very careful about that.
Anyone else? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, Gail Rusi, League of Women Voters. Just a process question. So, yes, I saw Mr. Claypool deliver this and asked Mrs. Blair to put it in the public record. So my question is it in the public record? Will it be in the public record?
I don't know that you would want to fully disclose the letter that you were referring to from NOACA without maybe asking to see if they were okay with that.
It's a public record. I mean, I received it in a public records request, so it's a public record.
I'm talking about the letter
Yeah.
Mr. Claypool.
I know, I'm just saying is she's referencing that she also was talking about the letter that she received as to whether they would both be put into the public record because it's his response to the letter that she's referring to. So if that was the case, then they would both need to be put into the record.
I guess, I don't know how it works, to be honest.
They would have to, I would have to copy and paste the letter and include them in the minutes. So that would be your response, is that they would be copied and pasted. They would be scanned and screenshotted and put into the minutes.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Meetings coming up next week. The 12th is Board of Revisions at 11 o'clock, and then a special meeting after that. And then on the 12th, ADP, organizational meeting. Can you get that one off? Monday. And then the 13th is Planning Commission at 7:30. And then the 13th is Commissioners meeting at 9:30. Martin Luther King Day, all offices are closed. And then we'll move it to Thursday, the 22nd. Our meeting on the 22nd and the 27th. I make a motion to adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
You'll be at work.